gospel, the true gospel, the only gospel that is to call people to forsake all and follow Jesus works. It is this gospel that cut 3,000 to the heart on the day of Pentecost when Peter stood up and he presented that gospel. This is the gospel that turns cities and turns nations upside down. It's the gospel to leave all and follow Jesus. And I would say, more than thinking, do we have to be relevant? The gospel is always relevant. Yeah. Because the only thing that changes lives. And I think we have been trying to figure out, how do we get people to come? What would we say? And even when we look at the next generation in the church, we're talking about how do, with Gen Z, what do we do? We've just been talking about people outside the church, but I would say inside the church, the word says in 2 Chronicles 16:9 that the eyes of the Lord are searching to and fro throughout the whole earth, seeking to show himself strong. Present tense, seeking to show himself strong on behalf of those whose hearts are fully devoted to him. And when we look at America and people would say, is America too far gone? Is the next generation too far gone? I would say the question has never been, is it in God's plan to save America, to save a nation, to turn a nation upside down? The question is only, will he find in us that which his eyes have sought for? Hearts fully devoted. And I believe God is calling a generation to consecration, to holiness, to a life laid down on the altar before God, because that's the life that God can use. And D.L. Moody once said that the world is yet to see what God will do with the person who is wholly consecrated to God. And I believe if we can get a consecrated generation, what I think will be extremely relevant in the days ahead is calling a generation to radical holiness, to audacious faith in God. What do we really believe that God can do? And if we'll call a generation into that, I believe if we get a consecrated generation, we will get a revival generation.